Everyone. In today's lecture, we are going to study about integral of vectors, vector integral. So in that first theorem which we are going to do is Gauss divergence theorem. So from divergence of A definition, we have seen that divergence of A is surface integral divided by delta V, where limit volume is approaching to 0. Okay, so by this definition we will get divergence theorem statement, and divergence theorem states that total outward flux of vector A through the closed surface is same as volume integral of divergence of A. Okay, and to prove the divergence theorem states that theorem subdivide the volume into large number of small cells. If the kth cell has volume delta Vk and is subdivided by a in surface Sk, we will get this statement. Means our total outward flux of vector field A is equals to sum of volume integral of divergence of A, sum of the surfaces. Okay, and since the total flux to one cell is inward to some neighboring cell, if I am dividing it and my flux is passing, so it is outward flux of one cell is inward to another one, okay, to some neighbor cell, and there is cancellation on every interior surface. So the sum of surface integral over Sk is the same as surface integral over surface S. Okay, so taking the limit of right hand side of equation and incorporating gives us the statement, which is divergence theorem. So divergence theorem applies to any volume V bounded by closed surface such as shown in figure, provided that A and delta A, divergence of A, are continuous in region. With a little experience, it will soon become apparent the volume integrals are easier to evaluate than the surface integral. And for this reason, to determine the flux of A through a closed surface, we simply find the right hand side of equation instead of left hand side of equation. Okay, so we work with this. Next is our Stokes theorem. It states that circulation of vector field A around a closed path is equals to surface integral of curl A over surface bounded by path L. So it may be noted that this equivalently poles provide A and curl A are to be continuous in space. So if there is a vector field A, okay, and then the line integral A takes around C is equals to surface integral of curl A. Okay, so by considering this surface S and having an element ds and a curve C denotes, we will get this statement. And the proof of Stokes theorem is similar to that of divergence theorem. The surface is divided into large number of cells as shown in figure. The kth cell has an surface area of delta Sk and is bounded path is Lk, while the total area is bounded by path L. Okay, and as seen from figure, that if we evaluate the sum of line integral around an elementary area, there is cancellation along every interior path. Okay, and we are left with line integral along the path L on the this outer area, outer boundary. Therefore we get line integral of vector field A or circulation of vector field A around a closed path L can be defined as like this. And if we take delta S approaching to 0 limit, we will get this statement. Okay, so which is our Stokes theorem. And the direction of ds and dl must be chosen using right hand or right hand screw rule. Using right hand rule, if we let the figure point in the direction of dl, the thumb will indicate the direction of ds. Okay, note that whereas the divergence theorem relates a surface integral to volume integral, Stokes theorems relate line integral to surface integral. Okay, next is our last. These are integral of vectors. I'm just adding one more topic, that is Laplacian of scalar. This is differential of vector. It was fourth topic in our last vector calculus lecture, which I left in that because it will become a little lengthy. So this is Laplacian of scalar. So for practice reason, it is expenditure to introduce a single factor which is the composite of gradient and diversion operators. Okay, so operator is known as Laplacian. Laplacian of scalar field V is written as del operator square times V. Okay, is the diversion of the gradient V. So thus in Cartesian coordinate system, we can write it like this. Okay, so it is basically what double differentiation is. This is our gradient of scalar, it's a vector, and then I am taking diversion of vector, that is scalar. So basically Laplacian of scalar is scalar at the end. Okay, so in Cartesian form, if I am putting the value of del and gradient of scalar and then dot producting them, okay, so I will get the expression in Cartesian coordinate system for Laplacian of scalar. Laplacian of scalar field is another scalar field itself. Okay, Laplacian of V in another coordinate system can be obtained by transformation. Okay, so Laplacian of scalar field is scalar itself, and these are the expressions in cylindrical coordinate system as well as spherical coordinate system. Okay, now we will see that a scalar field V is said to be harmonic in a given region if its Laplacian vanish. That is reason. Okay, in another word, Laplacian of scalar equals to 0 is satisfied in the region the solution of V is harmonic. Okay, it is form of sine and cosine. So delta square del operator square V is equals to 0, called Laplace equation, and solving this equation will be our major task in coming lectures. We have only considered Laplacian of scalar, since the Laplacian vector operator del square V is a scalar operator. It is possible to define Laplacian for a vector, okay, A. In this context, del square A is obtained by diversion of gradient A, which will not make any sense. Okay, so rather del square A is defined as gradient of diversion of A minus curl of A. Okay, the equation can be applied in finding del square A in any coordinate system. In Cartesian coordinate system, equation becomes like this. Okay, so what is the physical meaning of Laplacian? In physical term, it is a second derivative. The one-dimensional Laplacian operator is related to minima and maxima. Then the second derivative is positive and curvature is concave or convex. If it is positive, then it is concave. If it's negative, it's convex. In most of the situation, the two-dimensional Laplacian operator is also related to local minima and maxima. Okay, and if this VE is positive, maxima, and if it's negative, then it's maximum. If it's positive, it's minimum. Okay, so this is the physical meaning of Laplacian. That I will just do the different operator summary. Operator is gradient is a vector, diversion is a scalar, curl is a vector. Okay, Laplacian is scalar. This operator is concerned with scalar field, it's with vector field, it's with vector field, it's with scalar field. Okay, definitions are given in such form. So with this, our vector calculus is over. Thank you so much.